É tudo golfe isso daí.
Please, for the love of God, silence your fucking cell phones and be courteous to those around you. Enjoy the podcast. Hello, Twitch. It's just me right now. Dawson's here. His camera just went out. Yeah, your camera just went off. I don't know if you unplugged it. Because you're... I didn't do fucking shit.
I don't want to be around anymore.
I hit the wrong button.
I didn't do fucking shit.
Rob said he was going to be here. He's not here
Rob
yet.
is here.
I'm right here.
Hey, Robert. What's up, buddy?
Hey, everybody.
Talking about being late.
What's going on back there, Andy?
Yeah, what are you doing? Whoa, man, we just seeing all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
Look
man.
at my creation station.
All I saw was like a pile of junk and a messy couch.
Yeah, it's my fucking basement, dude.
I'm sorry
There's a
we
lot
can't.
going on over here.
We can't all have the fucking casting couch.
Yeah, dude. We're not all filming pornos in our living room.
Yes, living a dream, my friends.
Oh. Well,
All right. Well, I jiggled all the cables, so.
Well, you sound great. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How's that sound?
Oh, come on. It's right
Fantastic.
My ear. Stop.
Aftershock, bitch.
I don't.
You don't like that?
No.
You don't like that?
Nobody wants to hear that.
Everybody wants to hear that.
Negative.
You fart all night long on vent chat.
That is not into the mic.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? Fart out of my, or burp out of my butt?
No, don't mute. I don't know. Mute. I don't know.
It's too
Plus-
fast. I can't control it.
No, I sat there and watched you do it. It didn't sneak up on you.
Ah.
What's up, Paigey? How you doing?
Hello.
How's your mom and them?
Yeah,
Where
me and
are
Greg
you?
had our first like movie night in the living room.
What'd you watch?
Ready or Not?
Okay, all right. Spooky season not over in the Rob App 1 Casa.
Nothing is over.
Ha ha!
Now all I need to get is the PlayStation.
PlayStation and Spider-Man 2.
There's a new PlayStation coming out.
Yeah, the Slim.
You like
I
that?
thought that was out already.
There's a Call of Duty bundle coming out. Must be next week.
Man, they're really trying to sell those games, huh?
I bought it today.
Hey,
bought-
do you have to have a
you bought Call of
membership to
Duty?
get online?
Call of Duty has like... is the campaign like 4 hours? Did I read that?
I don't give a fuck. I'm not there for the campaign, homie.
Just play Warzone.
I'm not there for Warzone, baby. I'm talking about Call of Duty Zombies, baby.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Paid $100 for Call of Duty Zombies today.
Go fuck yourself, Andy.
Rude. Yeah, the campaign's like 4 hours, and everybody says it's ass. So it is what it is. I don't think I played a Call of Duty campaign in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years,
8 years.
more, 8,
9.
maybe 9,
12?
could be 12. I don't know the last time I played a Call of Duty campaign. Hello, Mushroom Mentor.
Hey, Mushroom Mentor. How you doing?
You can buy mushroom jerky at mushroommentor.com.
FNC Mushrooms makes some fantastic mushroom jerky. I think you have to catch them at a local farmer's market in his area of where he lives. I don't know what I'm going for.
Let's
here.
make this mushroom jerky the biggest thing ever. Let's get you on Shark Tank. Let's get you a social media presence going. Let's make the official jerky of Cinema Chat mushroom jerky.
so much fucking money.
So much fucking money.
Yeah, you'll be our first sponsorship.
Reggie, I gotta warn you. You gotta be a little careful because if you start sending me TikTok videos, I'm gonna start sending you TikTok videos.
I know you do send me TikTok videos.
I do, and I send you like,
not
but like
nah.
once you open up the can of worms, it's like I gotta send him more because he's
Okay.
looking at him now.
I got a notification today between him and Sauce that says you have 125 unread notifications.
Yeah,
Okay.
I curate them. I try to send out ones to people that I think you're gonna like. You're gonna like the TikToks I sent you. I guarantee.
I guarantee it.
I can hear it.
All right. You guys ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do this.
Yep.
All right.
Let's kick the tires and light the fires.
Cinema Chat Podcast and all of its hosts stand with SAG-AFTRA and the WGA in their fight to achieve a fair and equitable contract with the AMPTP. This review was done under the guidelines set forth. It is a completely foreign production with all foreign actors and does not fall under previous agreements with SAG-AFTRA or the WGA. Enjoy. It's Rob and Brent and my Reggie dude, and don't forget it also features Dawson too. We gonna give you all the dope reviews, but first we'll hit on all the movie news. Cha-ching, cha-ching, box office due. In between the news and the reviews, there's not a lot that we don't do, so turn the volume up, cause we coming through. Put your headphones on and tie your shoes. Jackman and Grant, we got all the views. We're like Brando in Godfather 2. We're gonna make a podcast you can't refuse. This is the Cinema Chat Podcast, and we know a lot about movies. Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's another episode of Cinema Chat Podcast with Rob and Brent and Reggie, featuring Dawson. I'm Brent.
I'm Rob.
I'm Reggie.
And I'm featuring Dawson.
And once again, we are all here, all four of us. Once again, during the SAG strike, we're going to review a movie which we haven't been doing very much. So we're going to get to do that. We're going to do that. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fun, a lot of opportunities abound. It's going to be a great show. And you know what? I thought, what better time than the present to bring back this segment? What did we watch this week? Let us give you a peek. We'll get to the news real soon. First, listen to this little tune. Give us the attention we seek while we tell you what we watched this week. I'm bringing it back because we do have one movie that one of us talked about or watched that we can talk about. Reggie, you went and saw a little concert film, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw the Taylor Swift Eras tour. I saw that Saturday.
Uh-huh.
It was Jess wanted to see it, so I was like, yeah, I will go watch this with you. And we'll go do this thing. And yeah, it was pretty it's okay. It was good. A lot of screaming, a lot of dancing. I thought it was a great show, to
Did
be
Jess
quite
dance
honest.
also, or was it just you?
What did everybody else do? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, she did not dance. Matter of fact, of the two of us, it was mostly ironic, but I was the one that did most of the singing.
Mostly ironic.
It was for the first like half hour, and then he's like, "All right, I get
He's
it.
like,
I'm a Swiftie now."
I kind of get it. And then she got into Evermore, and he's like, I don't know these songs. So...
yeah, because it was like there were times I was like, oh wait, I know this song. Like she was like, is there anything you want to hear? I was like, I just really only need to hear Bad Blood, because I did look up what was, what she was singing or whatever. So it was mostly kind of, I was going in blind. But I was like, yeah, Bad Blood's the only one I really need to hear. And then I was like, it's probably the only one I would even know.
Yeah. Nope.
And then like I heard some of them, like, wait, I was like, wait, I know this song.
You know a lot more Taylor Swift than you think you know. I'll tell you that much. However much you think you know more.
Yeah, that's what she said too. And I was like, I don't think so. And it turns out, yeah, there was a lot that I did know. So yeah, like I get it. It was a great show. And I can see why she is popular or whatever. And like it was nice because Jess is a fan. Well, kind of a fan, I guess. She's a big fan of the pandemic era albums that she put out, I guess.
Folklore and Evermore, yes.
Yeah, yes. I see we have a Swiftie over here.
I have teenage daughters.
And then so like she would sometimes give me like tidbits during the show, which was interesting. It was like pop-up videos sitting next to me because she was like, oh, this is the Jake Gyllenhaal song. We don't like him. I was like, we don't like Jake Gyllenhaal? I was like, no.
The hell we don't. Was it not the loudest movie you've ever been in your life? The actual sound of the film?
I mean, it was, no, not really.
Really?
Like it, yeah. I mean, no. I've heard louder. I've been louder. I mean, I didn't see it in like IMAX or anything like that, or the Sony Dolby, but it was mostly, I think it was just regular format. So it was pretty good. But like it was funny because it was almost on every screen. So like when there were quiet parts in our movie, we could hear the other
oh, that's coming up in a half an hour.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, okay, I get it. I get the hype. And I was shocked by how like inclusive it was. Like there are a lot of people on stage that like I was like, oh, I didn't, because like I don't really know a lot about Taylor Swift, and people kind of make it seem like she's a, okay, I'll just say it's not what I was expecting. And then I was like, oh, is she kind of like Cher or Madonna for like this generation? Because like there's a lot of LGBT stuff there, you know, a lot of people you want to see. Like there was this one dude who's like, you know, pretty big guy, and he was like center stage a lot. You know, like, oh, look at this.
All shapes, sizes, colors,
Yeah,
genders, everything.
exactly.
Yeah. That I mean that those are sort of the same takeaways that I have. Like, I think you're a little bit more of a hater, for lack of a better term,
Who?
than I was
No,
going in.
I don't hate Taylor Swift. I just don't.
Man.
I just don't care for her. No, I take that back. It's not that I don't care for her. I just
You
don't
sure
have an
about that?
opinion.
You sure about that?
Yeah, Jonathan's the hater. He actively hates Taylor Swift, which
I
I
I
don't understand.
I did walk away from that with a lot more respect for her as a performer. It is impressive to watch basically one person command an audience of that size for
Yeah.
that length of time. You know, a 2.5 hour show with basically no stoppage. I don't know what's going on with your camera, Dawson. It's
Me
weird.
either.
Weird. But yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that you went. I'm glad to hear that you at least enjoyed it a little bit. Glad Jess got to see it. I thought about doing a review with my daughters of that, but then I was like, no one wants to hear about this fucking Taylor Swift movie. So I'm not doing that.
Though I love your reviews with your daughter, so that would actually be fun, I think.
We'll do another one of those coming up, maybe for the holiday season. Yeah, we'll hold on for something maybe people care about a little more. There's a holiday horror film coming out that I might want to try to take the oldest one to. That's where we're at. And I thought, Dawson, since we'll segue over to the news segment here really quickly, I thought there was a chance that we might come in here tonight and be able to say, guess what? We're fucking back. We are back. And thank you, Mushroom Mentor, for the Prime subscription. But we are not back. And
Nope.
the SAG just responded to the AMPTP's, what is it? Best
and final offer.
best something and final offer. It was 3 things. And they responded to them today, and they said that they still do not agree upon certain important pieces of it, one of which being the inclusion of AI. So apparently both sides are still not in agreement on where they stand with that. And
Yeah,
I mean,
this
is the AMPTP gonna cut off talks until January, or are they gonna back off of that final offer bullshit?
Yeah, they're basically saying like the studios still want to pay like a one-time royalty fee to actors and scan them and then use them after they pass away and not have to pay anybody, and they're just not doing that. Which is weird too, because I know there's like politically there's AI bill going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
That I think is essentially to protect people from this. So I just feel like it's a really, really weird sticking point for them to stick at. I get it. Like that's the whole thing. That's the whole reason why we're doing all this is AI. Yeah, it's just weird that's like they're still at that. Like we want to be able to scan you and use you later without your rights, and it's just like that's so cheap.
I mean, I understand why they want to do it, but I mean, come on, like you can't. I can't believe. I mean, I guess I can. We've talked about this for years on this show, right? Like, at what point is this too much? At what point is this not okay? When is it wrong? When is it okay? We've talked about this multiple times over the course of the last, what, eight years? I mean, since we fucking started the show with the de-aging and bringing back, I mean, all the way back to Rogue One, we were talking about this, right? So
Right.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but the fact that they want to be able to scan everyone and just have a license where they can use them after their death is insane to me. It would be
Yeah.
one thing to use it so that they didn't have to do reshoots or something like that, but just have their likeness in perpetuity, that's ridiculous.
And that's one of the things that I've always thought was going to be a problem with this de-aging stuff. Because, like, in Rogue One, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then I was like, as it gets better, the technology gets better, it'll look better. Because, like, Tarkin looks pretty cool, but Leia, not so much. But, the idea that we're going to just keep doing this, I think is kind of, I've always been uneasy with it because there's something about it that feels perverse. That you're just going to put these people in forever and ever. There's a matter of fact, there's a Black Mirror in the last season kind of about this, about how you can just use an AI to create from almost whole cloth, a whole show and whole series because CGI and AI just gets to a point where you no longer need people and you just need their likeness. And like that's a horrible place to be, I think, because then it's like, well, what are we? I don't know. It's just like, what are we even doing? It's just so that a few people can get rich, And I like seeing, real people act, and I don't want to see. I mean, at that point, everything's just animated. There's no real live action. You'd have to go to a theater to see people actually act, which is I mean, I like going to the theater, but it's just not the same. That's not what TV is, and I don't want to transition to, well, this is what TV is now. I don't want TV to be that.
Don't make me watch a bunch of animated shit. You know how we feel about that.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like we missed it, but a couple weeks ago, someone pointed out that Disney did use AI in one of their movies with background actors, and it just looked like dog shit. Probably they just sloppily tossed it in there, but it was like for one of their high school musical movies or some shit. I don't know. One of their Disney, that's probably gonna get pulled off the network again. But it's out there, and like it looked awful. I mean, it looked like PlayStation 2 graphics, and it was not pretty. But it was for like 3 seconds. So
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know, man. All right. Anything else? Is there anything else we should talk about? Anything else we can talk about? Anything
I'll
else we're
just say
fucking
this, since we were
allowed to
talking
talk
about
about?
CGI. I think it's funny that the AI thing is, important or coming up because like Joe Biden saw like the latest Mission Impossible movie, he got scared. And then he saw some like video, some deep fake video of himself. It was like, oh no, we need to address this. And it's like, okay, that's what it took.
Well,
Because somebody
Trump saw that too, and he wasn't scared. He definitely wasn't scared. Everyone's talking about how not afraid he was of it.
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sticking point that I'm afraid. I don't know what it's going to take for them to get past it. Honestly, I mean, this strike could go until legislation gets passed, or that makes it to where they don't have to worry about it. I mean, they're already, what is it, 110, 115 days at this point? They're coming up on how long the writer's strike was. I mean, the strikes started back in July. We're coming up on almost 4 months of being on strike between the two strikes. So, it's a tough time to be a fucking movie reviewer. Let me tell you that. There's a couple A24 movies out that we could potentially talk about. Priscilla is out there. I hear good things.
I don't even want to see that.
I hear it's It's a more realistic version of Elvis than fucking
Yeah.
Baz Luhrmann.
Can't say I give a shit. I
I
don't
didn't watch
really
that
care.
one. I didn't watch that. You watched that one though.
Oh, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it with my wife.
So you're gonna watch
Some
this
of
one.
it.
You're gonna
Some of
watch
it.
this one.
But I'm not gonna. I don't need to see it. I don't need to go back and do it again.
Well, it's a very different movie, but yeah.
I don't care.
Dream Scenario, I would love to review, but it's not playing near me at all.
That one looks fun.
Probably not playing by you guys. Might be playing by Reggie.
Oh my goodness. I was in downtown Boston, and Alamo Draft House is gonna be opening in a couple of months.
Yeah, dude.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's awesome. We can definitely review Hunger Games whenever that comes out in a couple of weeks. So,
I mean, we don't have to.
That one's gonna be approved though.
I mean, Reggie, we haven't reviewed movies. We are reviewing that movie. If you want to take the week off, take the week off. I am not gonna pass.
Again.
I'm not gonna. I will.
Here's the
I will
thing,
extend you an extra week of vacation.
Jess wants to see it, so I will probably see it with you guys.
I mean, I'm clamoring to review movies. We're reviewing a Shudder exclusive Japanese horror movie, zombie movie, comedy movie. We'll talk about it. You guys want to get into that?
Yeah, let's get
Alright.
started.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Rob, are you okay over there, Rob?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You just haven't talked yet, so I just want to make sure you're okay.
No, I'm good.
And now, our feature presentation.
One Cut of the Dead. Japanese film, so it has a lot of names in it that I'm going to attempt to pronounce to the best of my abilities. It's written and directed by Shinichiro Ueda, with writing credit also to Ryoichi Wada? Ugh.
Why don't you let Reggie read those? He lived in Japan for a decade. And he spoke Japanese in high school.
Okay. Reggie, do you have it pulled up?
I'm pulling it up now.
Pull
Rob
up.
did it last week with
Pull up.
the Spanish names.
I feel like I was going to get a lot better with it once I got to the cast because I'd already read those. I was going to get better at it. It was going to be Takayuki Hamatsu, Yuzuki Akiyama, but I'll let Reggie read them.
You don't have to. You can.
Do you
do it.
have the
Yeah, I
slowest?
mean,
do you have the slowest computer of all time? It's IMDb.com, and then search
No,
the movie.
it's
What
just
is
I was,
taking
I
you
was
so
listening
long?
to you, and I was like, oh, look at him.
Look at him go.
Let
Come
him
on.
go.
Did he takes Japanese in high school?
I thought I was in Japan for a second. I had a flashback. Harumi Shuhama, Yuzuki Akiyama, Donguri, Kazukiya Nagaya, Mao, and a whole bunch of other people.
There you go.
I was gonna read the whole cast.
Oh.
It's like 16 people. I was just gonna read them all because I don't know. I don't know who anyone is, so I don't know who's important. Quote important. Reggie, this movie was something that you tweeted us about, and I don't have the exact tweet pulled up, but in the original tweet that you sent, you mentioned that you watched it. You told us what it was, and you said, I'm gonna try not to oversell this. And then you said a bunch of nice things about it, and then you followed it up with another tweet. And in the second tweet, you said it might be a top 20 movie of all time for me. So from one tweet to the second tweet, you went from I'm going to try not to oversell this to this is one of the 20 best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. So in my opinion, maybe it is top 20 for you, and that's not an oversell. But in my opinion, that is the oversell of the century.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that right now. I pulled up the tweet. I said I'm not
I'm gonna try to not oversell this, but I just watched One Cut of the Dead. And it might be the best horror comedy I've ever seen. It's a one-shot zombie flick. Um, it's best if you don't know what you're getting into, watch it and stay through the credits. And then I said, if you're a fan of horror, this is for you. If you're a fan of comedy, this is for you. And if you're a fan of movies and of movie making, this is for you. And might be in my top 20 movies of all time. Yeah. So I definitely oversold it. Maybe.
Well, we'll talk about whether or not we think you oversold it. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the movie, I guess.
So I was looking for foreign movies for 31 Days of Horror because like I like to get a little variety, and there's things that I've missed, and I was kind of watching a bunch of crap horror. So I wanted to watch something good. So I looked up a list of best foreign horror movies, and this kept coming up. And then I was like, what is this? And then they were like, it's a one-shot horror movie, and it's best if you don't know what it's about. So just go in blind and stay through the credits. And then I was like, okay, I'll try this. Let me look this up. I like Japanese horror. I like, Japanese movies. I'll check this out. And I was intrigued by the one shot that it's just all one take. And then I was like, started watching it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good, especially for a movie that's one take. And then I'm watching it, and it's coming to its like natural conclusion. And I was like, huh, it's good. I don't get the hype. And then the credits happen, and I was like, wait a minute, there is still a lot of movie left. And then I was like, oh my God, it's like that's when the movie kind of started. And I was like, this is amazing. And it kind of blew my mind because I was just like, I guess I'll say this. There are probably going to be a spoiler. So if you're interested in this, and I highly recommend it, you should maybe pause here if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, because I don't think we can really talk about this without spoiling it.
Yeah.
It's available on it's on Shudder. Fuck it, it's on Shudder. I mean, we're technically not supposed to mention companies, right? But whatever. Right. I know. Yeah, so you can go watch it there. It's relatively inexpensive, but they have a free trial also, and I'm sure you can find it other places if you're
determined.
If you wanted to, you could probably find it other places.
If you want to sell the high seas. Yeah.
So if you're interested in watching it and you don't want it spoiled, check out now. I understand. Come back after you watch it. So I'm watching this movie, Reggie, and it starts, and I'm like, oh, this is one take. Okay, this is interesting. And I'm watching. I'm like you. I'm like, I mean, this is low budget. It seems decent enough. The acting is relatively good. This is fine. It doesn't feel like a top 20 movie of all time. It doesn't even really feel like a top 500 movie of all time to me. I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, I get it. It's fine. I'm enjoying it, but this is like a 7 out of 10 for me, maybe. And whenever it got to the Switch, I was really thrown off, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm watching now. And it took about 5 to 10 minutes into the Switch before I started realizing like what they were doing, what was gonna happen. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I like where this is going.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dawson, can I divulge your text messages?
Yeah.
They were sent to me privately, so I don't want to speak out of school. Yeah. Dawson texted me. I was like 45 minutes ahead of Dawson whenever he was watching it. He texted me and he said, "What the fuck is this? It's just a girl screaming on a roof for like a full minute. I'm about to turn it off." And I was like, you have to stick with it. Stick with it. You're almost there. There's going to be a switch. And he was so close to the Switch too, right? And I'm like, and like 5 minutes after he sent that, I got to the part at the end of the movie where they show and explain why that shot of her is so long. And I'm like, oh man, the timing of that text message is hilarious. It's like I got to the point I'm like, man, you're gonna laugh about this in 45 minutes. But it's an interesting movie to say the least. It starts off with the first take, which I read later they shot 6 times. It's 37 minutes long, and it is a one take zombie movie. It's people making a zombie movie, and then zombies wind up attacking. And it's 37 minutes long, and then you get to the end of it, and credits roll, and then boom, here we are in. It cuts back like a month, and you start going through with the director, and you wind up for the rest of the movie going through the process
Of making a movie.
them making that one shot movie. It's like you almost get like the behind the scenes of the movie you just watched. But it switches from that one shot zombie movie to a comedy at that point. It's really
Right.
it's really strange. It's a very interesting concept. And I thought, not to put on my cards on the table, I think it's really well executed ultimately. But it's a pretty fun movie. We'll talk about some more specific stuff, but that's sort of the gist of it. But Dawson, you were at the point with the one shot, you were done. You were about to check out. Johnny, see you later.
Yeah, it didn't do a whole lot for me. And like just a lot. It's just a lot of like yelling and a lot of like high pitched squealing. I have
Like an
I have two
anime.
little girls in this house, and it's just nonstop. And I was like, okay, it's enough. I understand, and it was fine. It seemed like it was really like low budget. Like it just felt like really low budget horror, like zombies, and that to me is like, I don't care for that. I like good zombie movies. Like, they're paying a lot of money for their, like their makeup and stuff. And this was
Right.
not that. It was just like, and you can see why later on. So as it progressed, I'm like, okay, I get it now. I understand. I'm having a better time. But I did not really care for the initial movie until now. Now I would appreciate it more,
But
knowing where I'm at. But
even when you're watching it, there's not a part of you that's watching how they're doing it and is impressed with the fact that they were able to do all of that.
it doesn't matter. I mean, that's whatever. It's very impressive that it's a one take shot. That's
A
cool.
a legitimate one take.
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, no, that's really cool. I no, but that's not enough. It's not enough for me to be like, wow, this is an amazing. And then because in the back of my mind, Reggie's like, this is a top 20 movie of all time for me. So I'm like, where is this movie?
I know.
Like, you shouldn't have led with that. You should be like, this is a good movie. You should watch it.
Dude, as I was watching the first 37 minutes of it, I had a flashback to when Reggie really sold me on this movie called Free Fire.
Oh yeah.
It was so great. It has an amazing cast. It's all like in one space, small cast. It's awesome. It's so good. And I watched it and it was dog shit. It was terrible. We reviewed it on Cutting Room Floor. It was terrible.
And I remember reviewing that after rewatching it, and I was like, "What was I thinking when I thought?" Because like I generally thought that was a really great movie, Free Fire, and then I was like, "Jesus, what was this movie? Why did I like this?"
So I had this flashback to that, and I'm like, Reggie is off of his rocker. He took time away from the show, and he doesn't know what movies are anymore. I don't know what's happening. I was so confused, and then I got to the point where I started to get angry because I'm like, he's trolling us. He just trolled us into watching this shitty Japanese zombie movie. What is happening here? And then it makes a switch. I'm like, okay, well, I'll give the rest of this a chance. Rob, what did you know going into it? Did you look anything up before you watched it?
No, I didn't look into it, and I was saying, "Oh, it's Japanese." I'm into Japanese movies, and I was looking forward to it. But then, like I would say, the first 10 minutes, I was like Andy. I was like, "What the hell kind of garbage is this?" And then, I watched the 30-minute switch over whenever, and then it turned into like the funniest thing I have ever seen come out of Japan.
Funny. Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
you ended it with coming out of Japan. I was about to ask you if
Hey,
it was
Joker's
funnier than
safe.
Joker.
Joker's safe, guys.
But that's the real question. Was it funnier than Joker?
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, wow.
Joker's still the
Nothing's
king.
funnier than Joker.
Yeah.
King of comedy, Joker, right there.
Joker 2 coming soon.
Can be the best musical of all time.
That's right.
Yeah, I do think there's some of the comedy in this that some of it gets lost in translation, I think, a little bit.
And you know what? That's something I should have taken into account because I spent a lot of my formative years in Japan, so that's comedy that I understand. And I realized that probably maybe some of it doesn't translate as well to like somebody who has more of an American or Western diet of comedy. But like I just thought it was just amazing because there's like three movies in this one movie, but they're all one movie because like you said, it's that one shot and I was like I don't get the hype of this. Like it's good on a technical level because it's one shot. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I don't know why everybody's in it. And then it switches. Like everything I saw said stay through the credits. And then when you stay through the credits and it switches and it's another movie about how this movie needs to be made. And then there's another switch where you're watching them make the movie and you're understanding why that one shot there's so many weird decisions. And it's just like, wow. I was just like the thought and planning that had to go into making this movie is amazing. Is like worthy of talking about because like we like to talk about movies and we like how movies are made, and I was just like, this is one of those movies that is just it's funny, and I just was in awe with it.
So watching them make the one shot was the most fun that I had in the movie. I really enjoyed that part of it. And it almost I want to find out was conceptually that was a part of the film. But did they shoot the one shot? And inevitably when you're shooting a 37-minute one shot, there's going to be things that happen, right? Maybe it doesn't go as planned, maybe you have to solve for something or whatever. Did they shoot the one shot and then they have these different pieces of it that are like, that's kind of weird, that didn't work out exactly like we wanted to, and they took that and they like made a scene around it and framed it so that they could explain what, like, were the scenes that explain those things already there, or did they do that to account for mistakes or issues that arose while they were filming that one shot? The chicken or egg, which one of them came first? Some of it was probably planned, but I guarantee you there's probably 2, 3, 4 things that happened in there. Like at one point there's a cameraman that falls down, and
Right.
even when they're showing making it doesn't make sense, right? It does
Yeah,
not
and
make
then
sense.
right after that, the camera girl takes over and she falls down 2 times.
Yeah. So there's probably 3 or 4 things in that happened while they were shooting that, and they're like, okay, we have to explain why this was like this. We have to explain
Right,
what
because
happened here.
there's one scene where a guy, because he's drunk, he's like they just are just like he's just like dead. But then he comes back and like in the logic of the movie, there are a lot of things where it's like, why did that happen? Why, this doesn't make sense. And then you see why it happened, and I'm like, oh wow, this is real interesting. And like I thought the acting was good too as well. Because I always find it interesting when an actor has to play an actor acting. It's kind of like a snake eating its tail, and it's kind of meta. It's like, I know that this is an actor, but they're also playing. Oh, it's like Tropic Thunder. I'm a dude playing a dude who's playing a dude,
Yeah.
and I find that interesting.
And you take it one step further, and you've got the guy acting as the director, who's acting as an actor who's really not acting at some points. Like it's like it goes like 4 levels deep for him because he
Too
at
much.
some point it's like real for him, and it's kind of it's interesting. It's a very cool concept. And the execution on it, I thought I really struggled for part of that. I mean, the fact that it was one shot, Dawson, you said you need more than that. Just picturing how that came together and the amount that they were able to get done in that time frame, and that it was impressive to me, regardless of everything. But I thought for how long it was and how much they had going on, that the acting that they did get was really good for that. Because you think about the acting you normally see in a movie, how many takes did they do, right? Like how many chances do they get to do that 30 seconds? And in this, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. They did this 6 times. Like they got 6 takes for the whole thing. And they took the best one. So it's like, it's not going to be perfect. There's no way it's going to be perfect. But I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. I walked away from this movie thinking, yeah, that's a good movie. I would recommend that to people. And I would hope that they would make it through the first 37 minutes and not be mad at me. Because you had some people really questioning you. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I think we were all probably like, what the fuck? What is wrong with Reggie? What is wrong with him? So the 31 Days of Horror broke him. He's broken.
He's just taking anything. Yeah, no, the ending. It came together. Like it's not my favorite movie ever, but it's definitely something that is enjoyable, and I can appreciate it. I don't know that I'm ever gonna go back and watch it again because now it's like I know what's up. Maybe the second time through would be fun to watch that at first 37 minutes and just, like Brent said, try to catch little things and see if it worked out. But outside of that,
one of the things that cracked me up, specific things, was the wife of the director, the self-defense thing, when she's like breaking out of the hold, and she makes she makes the noise at the end. Like I'm watching, I'm like, why does she keep making that noise off camera? Like, why do I keep hearing her doing that? There's no one else up there. What's going on? She did it like 3 times, and then you get to the end, you're like, oh, I get it now. I get to see why they did it. It's a lot of fun. It's a very fun movie. I haven't watched a lot of. I don't know if I've watched any Japanese comedies. I don't think I have. All of the Japanese films that I've watched, I would say 90% of them are horror. Maybe 10% drama. I don't think I've seen any comedies. So this was my first foray, probably, unless I'm forgetting something, into a Japanese comedy. It was good. It was funny. It was funny. But I do think it would be probably funnier for someone that was accustomed to that style of comedy, probably. Because it's not even just a language barrier. Like, sometimes British comedy is tough for me. Just different flavors of comedy don't work for everyone. But this was funny. It did make me laugh. But the first third of the movie, I was interested in the composition of it and how it was filmed, and I was enjoying that piece of it. The last third of the film, I was enjoying seeing how they did that and sort of explaining all of the weird things I had seen previously. It's the middle third that I might have not enjoyed the most, honestly. Whenever they're getting from setting up the movie to where they're actually filming it,
That was kind of meh for me. It was mid.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot. That was my least favorite part of the whole movie.
Whenever they finally get to where they're making it, I'm all in. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was really enjoying that part. So top 20, none. What say you? Top 20 for you, Reggie?
I mean, I know that I've had time to digest it. It's you
Top
know what?
100?
I'd have to look at my top 20, but it's probably not. I don't know.
Come on.
It would
Really?
definitely be my top 20 of foreign movies.
Japanese comedy horror movies.
Hey, it's number 1 with a bullet for me on that.
Let me see. What's in my top 20? Come on,
I would,
internet.
if you had a real list, I would be shocked if this snipped the top 80.
I do have a real list.
I mean, you're
no,
not
it's not in my top 20.
It can't even
Also-
be close.
And can I just say, if this movie came out 5-6 years ago, why does it look
2017.
like it came out in the 90s? Why would it look like everything was just so? It just maybe it was the cameras, but it felt like it was like a YouTube video.
I think that was in design though, right?
Yeah, it was intentional to be like a, documentary kind of found footage style film with handheld
And-
cameras and junk.
Right. And I think by doing that, they hide some of the flaws that inherently happen by a project of this kind of magnitude.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. Okay.
Okay,
Reggie.
not top 20, but definitely in my top 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you like this a lot. You've watched a lot of movies. Top 50?
Like here's some movies that are in my top 50.
What's number 50? What's 45 through 50?
45 through 50. And you know what? One of these I don't think probably should count, but Flickchart counts it. So 45 as Fear. Boondock Saints is 46.
Wait. Fear?
Sphere.
Sphere. I thought you were saying Fear. I was like, the fucking Marky Mark movie? The home invasion movie?
Where he's 22 years old and then he dates a 16-year-old.
Is that what that is about? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
46.
He wants to kill the dad because he says no, you can't. You're
William,
not a good influence
William
on my
Peterson's
underage
the
daughter.
dad.
Is this a movie I should watch?
Fear?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
Didn't we review that?
We
I don't remember.
We definitely watched it. We definitely watched it during the pandemic, at least.
Yeah, you and I watched it recently because I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize he was that much older than her.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed that episode.
And like, it's weird too because they like show them. I digress. They're like getting down.
Yeah,
It's
he's
this
like
is-
fingering her on a
yeah,
Oh, jeez.
a
yeah.
what a roller coaster.
Okay.
yeah.
It's an
On a
inter-
roller coaster.
It's an interesting movie, man.
Huh.
It is something else. It is not what I remembered it being. I think ultimately, if you were able to strip away the 22-year-old sexually assaulting a 16-year-old, essentially, I think the rest of it, the home invasion part's pretty good.
Yeah.
But you got to deal with a little.
hard pill to swallow.
It's tough to get past. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Tough to look past when it's like,
Like, you wouldn't make that movie now. Anyways, Sphere. Excuse me.
Fear.
46 is Boondock Saints. 47, Delirious, the Eddie Murphy comedy special. And
In my head, I
48
had the little banjo kid. That's Deliverance.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
48 is Signs. 49, The Omen, and 50 is Blair Witch Project.
Is this all movies?
For the most part, I haven't gone back to Flickchart in a while, so I think like my newest movie is probably a 2022, maybe 2021 movie.
Dude, I feel like you've got 20 movies you've seen the last 2 years that are better than all of those.
You've given like 5 tens this year, so
I know, yeah. Like I said, I need to go over this list again and re-rank this stuff because like Signs I would probably put higher than 48. The Omen definitely should be higher, I think. Like I love Sphere, but it's not a good movie, but like anything under like I don't know. I the only thing I really care about on this list cuz I have over 2000 movies ranked is anything in my top 100 is those are movies that I really care about and I try to make sure is a good top 100.
Okay. All right. Rob, would this hit your top 1,000?
I probably won't remember it after tomorrow.
Damn. Damn.
Ooh, wow.
The funniest thing to come out of Japan. He says, "No, I'm going to forget it tomorrow."
Yeah, like, but I mean, all of the Japanese like movies and dramas that I watched, they're completely forgettable because the majority of them not original at all. You know, compared to some other stuff.
Well, this is very original though.
Yeah,
This is
I like it. It's like more of a TV show than it is a movie premise, though, in my opinion. But the second half was very funny.
I think this is one of the more original movies I've seen in a while. I just the concept of it alone is enough to make me suggest it to other people. And I think the right way to go about it, Reggie, is to not know anything. But it does, like, you have to get past the first half hour.
Yeah.
You have
you
to.
do.
Because I think anyone in their right mind would start watching that and be like, I don't think I can do an hour and a half of this.
yeah, I was right there.
You thought you had an hour of it left. You're like, bro, no, this is not happening. So yeah, it's good. It's not. I was gonna say it's not great. It's not great. It's really good. I think. I would put it really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm probably not gonna watch it again.
Me too.
Unless we watched it in a watch party. This would be kind of a fun watch party movie, I think.
Yeah, I would say that's a better experience with probably people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you know what's going on.
And
And they don't.
I just ranked it, and if you care, it came in at 51.
Yeah, suck it.
Just a bit outside.
51. Now
It got blocked by the Blair Witch Project, to be quite honest.
Well, why don't we get fucking all your 10s and 9s and 9.5s in there for the last 2 years and see where those get ranked? Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, that's a good one.
John Wick Chapter 4, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Across the Spider-Verse. You gave Fast X an 8.5?
He was all back in. Like,
I was back in.
Asteroid City. What
did I give Asteroid City?
10.
Yeah, a 10. A fucking 10.
You see that look he gave us? He's like,
Yeah,
what was I doing?
I know. That's the look I gave him when he did it. Let's see, what else? What else The Batman. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Everything Everywhere.
I stand by that one.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I stand by that.
The Woman King. Spirited, bro.
Spirited?
The Christmas musical.
I stand by that.
Glass Onion.
He gave all these 10s.
No. These are all.
Oh, okay.
I think
I
they
was
were
about
all.
to. I was
I think
like,
they were all
oh.
9.5s or higher. 9.5s.
I was like, here's the problem: is Reggie just too liberal with his numbers?
Well,
And then like
Reggie's-
we go back
Reggie's-
8 months later, and he's like, that movie's not good.
Don't you dare say Reggie's too liberal.
I mean, I'm listening to that list. Banshees of Inisherin, yeah, came in at 31.
Dude, I'm telling you, your list is about to get fucked by the last 2 years.
Yeah, it is.
You got to go through all of our reviews and plug them all in. Let me know.
Because
What's
like
up.
V for Vendetta, I have at 32, and I just know that that's gonna drop precipitously.
Get your
I don't know what that
Get your
means, but I'm gonna
$5
take it
words out of
offensively.
here. I don't know what you're saying right now. All right. What else? Anything else you guys want to say before we give scores and get out of here?
I said my piece, Rob.
I was gonna say
Facts.
the sound guy. Remember when he was pooping in the grass? Did we ever like? Why was his stomach all upset?
It was the
Rob
water.
wasn't paying attention.
It was
He
the
wasn't paying
water.
attention.
Yeah, so I'm
He can
thinking. I thought like something was in the water.
He can only drink certain types of water, otherwise he gets bad diarrhea.
Yeah, he has like an allergy to certain minerals or something.
Because it was like the one zombie guy is like drunk and passed out, and the sound guy has got explosive diarrhea.
Well, and the funny thing about that was whenever I was watching the movie through the first run, he right before he runs out, I saw him just sitting there like dead, like staring off into space, just looking like he was focused on something. I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he in the scene? He's just sitting there staring off. He's not even a part of the scene. And you get to that, and he's just focusing on not shitting his pants. And then they make her put the makeup on him while he's shitting in the grass. That was pretty good. I forgot about that. Do we have any facts?
This movie cost $25,000 to make, and it made over $25 million.
That's a fact.
Most of the cast in this movie paid to be in this movie. At least, they paid to be in it initially because the final product was a final product of acting an acting and directing workshop called ENBU seminar.
That's a fact.
So it was like the end of the class, basically?
Basically, yeah, it was like a seminar. They paid to be a part of this. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that'll keep your
weird.
That'll keep your budget down. Something's weird with
Yeah.
your mic. It's like muffled.
Who's Mike?
Reggie's.
Yeah, Reggie.
Oh.
You sound different.
My mic was loose. My
It's still
cord.
bad. It's all you're in the fish tank now.
It's coming through your camera
My
microphone.
headset.
This movie was shot in 8 days.
That's a fact.
8 days, huh?
Yeah, there's a scene when they had to pull off a wound sticker. It had to be edited in post-production because the sticker wouldn't come off cleanly. So I don't know about your whole one-take bullshit, guys. They're editing stuff in.
Well, they're CGIing it in.
Oh, it's okay when this movie does it, but not when Marvel does it?
Oh,
No,
Lord, are
I'm-
we starting that again?
I'm pretty sure I would be okay with Marvel doing it too.
Okay. What if it was AI banded?
Probably was. It took a job away from a real Band-Aid. Oh, do you have one more?
There was the scene when the director berates the actress for being not terrified enough is a reference to the movie The Shining, where Stanley Kubrick bullied Shelley Duvall to get a better performance.
Fun fact I just learned recently.
Which is really interesting because she is terrible in The Shining. She, hot take.
Yeah.
She is not good.
It's
Oh.
because she was terrified the whole time. Like that's. I don't know if that's an actor problem or I think that's a director problem. Like her performance is horrible because of the director and the set.
That movie fucking sucks.
It does suck. It's not good.
I don't know. I don't understand why people suck that movie's dick. But they do. All right. Rob, what do you give one cut? Hold on. Wait, before we do that, Reggie, after watching it, I'm even more confused by how you didn't understand the title of the movie. Had the meaning that it had.
What do you mean?
Last week, whenever we were talking about the title, you acted as if you were like shocked and surprised that the title had like one cut, meaning it was a one shot take. You're like, that's actually a great title. How did you not understand that watching this?
They're all wearing the shirts like One Cut of the Dead.
It is plastered all over the place. It is the name of the show. They've talked about how they're making it. I don't know how you didn't get that. That's the other thing. I was watching. I was just like, how was he confused by the title? Oh man! All right, now
the original title of the film was "Don't Stop Shooting."
That would have been a good name.
Where are the facts? Where are the simple facts?
Forgot I had that one. Okay, Rob.
The facts.
Where do you rate? What score do you give One Cut of the Dead?
This film was a mixed bag for me. And I'm with you guys where like the middle third kind of like dragged on and didn't flow with the other parts. But it's like definitely an experience to watch. You go from like the worst B horror film that you could probably find to like a mediocre we're making a movie to like the funniest like slapstick direction of what's going on, and I think the last third is probably the best part of the film. But I wouldn't recommend this to anybody because it's like all over the place. Yeah. So I would give it a 5 out of 10.
What the fuck just happened?
Watch of your own accord.
Wow. Okay.
Am I the only one shocked by that?
I'm a little surprised.
What happened? I thought you were on my side.
All right. Dawson.
I'm not gonna be that hard on it. There's things I liked about this movie. There's things I didn't like. It was very innovative. Like Brent said, this is one of the more original movies I've seen. Yeah, there's things I didn't like about it, but I don't like it. You know, there's things I don't like about every movie. I think I'll end up giving this one an 8. It was a good time. It's original. It gets extra points for being original. It's something different. Even if it's not like my favorite movie, it's still a very cool concept. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually going to go 8.5. So we're closer than I would have thought. It's the middle of the movie for me that I struggle with. The first part is I look at the second part and it's technically it's a better made movie. Like everything's better about the middle of it, but I give extra points to the first 37 minutes because of the complexity and knowing that they only had so many opportunities and they had to work with what they had. It's impressive. It's more impressive to me than the better made second part of the movie. the second act. The third act is wildly fun, and the first act is impressive, and the second act, it was fine. It was whatever. So ultimately, though, the first act and third act are worth your time, I think, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'm gonna stick with that. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's a good one. I would recommend this to people. So, Reggie.
Number
Number
did
51.
I oversell it?
Number 51 all time for you.
Did I oversell
it's
it?
Not
Maybe.
real. It's not really 51 though, because you have a bunch of stuff to add in.
Yes, I do. And maybe I'll come back next week and let everybody know where it fell. Actually, I bet I could share my list. Anyway, apropos of nothing. I really did enjoy this, and definitely not in my top 20 movies of all time. But like, it would probably be in my. It's up there. You know, like I said, it's at 51 now. But like, I really did enjoy it, and I really think it's an amazing movie, very inventive. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will watch it again. Like, this is something I would probably watch every 31 days of horror. And I would like, I enjoy the way movies are made, and this is a fun, interesting look into that. And it's just very creative, and I give them a lot of credit for the unique nature of the movie. The middle might drag a bit, and I can see why, especially when you start with how it starts, then you get to the middle, and you're like, well, what's going on? Because it's such a course change. I get that. That being said, I really enjoyed it. I stick by the praise I did give it, and I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay. I will say, I feel like this is a movie that you could definitely watch once and get the full impact of it. I think you can watch it a second time and appreciate it. I think after the second time, it's going to have diminishing returns. You talk about watching it every year for 31 days of horror. I think it's going to diminish in your eyes the more you watch it. Because it's not going to have the same impact, you know?
I can see that.
That's
which is probably why I want to wait a year to see if I still feel that way. Because like, there are movies that like Blair Witch Project could have been one of those movies, you know, but like, even watching it years later, I still really enjoy that movie.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Join us next week when we'll figure out what we're doing then. We'll probably message each other on Sunday and figure out what we're going to do. Yeah. But you guys have a great rest of your week. See you next time. Hey, Finn, what's up? How you doing, buddy? All right, we'll see you.
Hey, Finn.
You don't need to follow me. You don't need to follow anybody.
But you can follow us. I'm Brent, and I am
Ed's not Malcolm.
And he's Rob, and he's
Rob 1.
There's also Reggie, who is
Hit on.
We can't forget about Dawson at
Andy!
Underscore
Dawson.
Don't forget to follow the podcast at CinemaChatPod on Twitter. And check out our website, cinemachatpodcast.podbean.com.
I'm following you now. I'm just gonna follow you everywhere. I'm just gonna follow you the rest of my life.
Thanks, Peter. Now, if the rest of you would get off your ass and follow us, that would be great.
Mail, motherfucker.
Oh, and don't forget to send your emails to cinemachatpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please, send us something. Have a good week, everyone. Goodbye.
We got him, Daggard. He oversold. We got him to admit it. He's a big liar. He's a big cheater.
That's not what I said.
I did that. That's exactly what you
Reggie,
said. That's what you said. That's what you said. We got you.
We got him.
Fake news. Fake news.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, and don't leave your garbage all lying around. It's a total dick move. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I want a refund.
All right. That does it for the stream. We're not going to hang out and do our Patreon show for Twitch for free. You got to pay to get that shit. Patreon.com/ I hope not. All right. We're out of here. Bye, Twitch. Smoochy, smoochy.